Here I've gone Aiden Gimel, the third cycle of the Garden of Eden story. Chelet Gimel, the third section, and the last section. Ula Adam Amar, and to the man, he said, still God talking here, Ki Shamata Lakol Ishtecha V'tochal Min Ha'etz Arura Ha'arma Ba'avurecha. Because you listen to the voice of your woman, and you ate from the tree, cursed is the ground in your labor. So the ground will be cursed as he works it. Called perfect voice of your woman. We only know this is bound because we have two nouns in a row. It's interesting, this whole phrase has been fronted, ki shemata. This is a subordinate clause. Our main verb is arura, cursed, or cursed. So this is the main clause. Cursed is the ground because of you. Or sorry, cursed is the ground in your work. Then here's the subordinate clause, because you listen to the voice of your wife. Subordinate clause has been fronted to the beginning. For emphasis, for focus. That is what God is focusing on here. So then we get subject, or we get verb, and then subject. So the word order is switched because this whole clause has been fronted. Ve'ze'at apecha tochal lehem ad shuvcha el ha'arama. In the sweat of your brow, or by the sweat of your brow, you will eat bread until you return unto the ground, because from it you are taken, because dust are you, and unto dust you will return. So we've had off-fronted for emphasis. The subject normally would come before the object, but it's been fronted. And unto dust has been fronted in this clause as well. Normally we'd have tashuv, the verb coming before the object, but here we have fronting for emphasis sake. Vayikra ha'adam shem ishto chava ki hi haita Aim kol chai. And the man called the name of his wife Eve, because she was the mother of all life. So some basic grammar here, but one really interesting thing is the hayata is a perfect verb. So let's think just a little bit about this. The man names his wife Eve. The reason he does that is because she is the mother of all life. But this life has yet to come. So this life, all life that is to come in the future, yet we have a perfect verb. So this is one of those instances where we have a perfect verb that is talking about something that clearly has happened, or has yet to happen. She hasn't had kids yet. She has not brought forth any life yet. But it's in the perfect verb because it is going to happen. We're looking at that event, even though we're looking at it in the future, it has not happened yet, we're looking at it in its totality. So we're using a perfect verb because it is done, and we get to see basically the entirety of this event, even though it's a future event. So that's a pretty cool use of the perfect there, I think. Vaya'as Adonai Elohim la'adam, and the Lord God made for the man, ula ishto, and for his wife, kot notes od, or sorry, kot note or. This is a ketonet, robes of skin. Vayal beish o tam, and he clothed them. Here we have a PL, past narrative PL. No, hold on. Let me check the chart. I don't think that's PL. Might be a PL, but I don't think it's PL. Looking at a chart, we're looking at a past narrative, and we got a patak underneath the yod hifil. Aha, of course, hifil. Should have known that because of the tsere. Tsere is a clear sign, not the clearest sign, but a pretty clear sign of a hifil. If you don't have a hirik yod, you're very likely going to have a tsere there. Patak underneath the yod, hifil. So the Lord God caused them to be clothed. I find this rather interesting and appealing, that God didn't just make them robes and give them the robes. God made the robes and then clothed them in these robes. So the grammar here is pretty helpful in helping us visualize this event where God is the one clothing. They aren't clothing themselves. Hain. Ha'adam haya ka'achad menu, lada'at tov v'ra. Behold, the man is like one of us, knowing good and evil. Here we got a perfect verb. We got to translate it in the present tense. So again, this is a very useful example of the perfect. We just saw one that is talking about a future event. Here we have one that's talking about an event that has happened right now. It's happening right now, but we see the totality of it. The man is one who knows good and evil. So the perfect does not always just show past tense. Here it's present tense. We have an infinitive construct here. So again, remember that you have to have a main verb with a main clause, and then the infinitive construct will be the head of the subordinate clause. It will be at the front of the subordinate clause, following the main clause. V'ata pen yishlach yado, and now, lest he stretch out his hand, v'lachak gam me'etz ha'chayim, and take also from the tree of life. V'akal v'chai la'olam, and eat and live forever. Vayashkein mekedem lagan eden et hakaruvim ve'et lahat hacherev lishmor et derek eitz hachayim, and he stationed from the east of the garden the cherubim and the flaming sword to guard the way of the tree of life. Sorry, I got distracted by all sorts of interesting things that are happening in this, so straightforward translation. And he's stationed to the east of the garden, the cherubim, plural, and the flaming sword, just one of them, to guard the path of the tree of life. So here we have another hifil, patak, tsere, so cause to be stationed. Cherubim is in the plural, it's also definite. And then the reason I highlight this is because there's multiple cherubim, but there's only one sword. Or it's kind of picturing the cherubim holding the sword, but in my mind there's two cherubim maybe at the path, and in between those is this flaming sword. What's been left out of this is the fact that the sword is going back and forth, protecting the path. So that's something that's been left out. And when we read this in the actual Bible, then we get to see that this sword seems to be acting independently from the cherubim, so they're probably not holding it. It's just kind of a special sword that floats around by itself. Okay, so that is the Garden of Eden, the third section, and the last one.